What's going on? YouTube, are back with Shades of. We're continuing our Let's Play of Katawa Shoujo. Now, last time we left off... Actually, don't remember what happened when we left off. Oh yeah, we helped the blind class with their banner. So now we're going to continue it, and honestly, I'm sorry I've put off this guy again, but I can't help but be attracted to this game. I've always liked reading, and I've always liked imagining set pieces like this in my own head as I read, but this giving me something to focus on beside something I can see as well as read, it's quite entertaining. And again, this story is pretty fun to go through. It's fun to experience, and I have to angle my lamp so because I have a face cam on. So anyway, enough of my rambling, let's go. Being that it's so late, the lack of students around probably helps. The odd one or two can be scurrying to and from the dorms trying to eke the most out of their approaching curfews, but no more. All that can be heard out is our footsteps, in addition to Lily's cane regularly gently tapping the ground in front of her. It is nice to finally be able to relax a bit after the mad rush during school. Without even noticing it, I let out a small yawn. Tired? Yeah, I still getting used to the flow of things, I guess. The thing with Shizune took me kind of off guard, though. I grit my teeth a little at the candid mention of their rather public spat. That said, I do want to sort out what in the world was behind it. About that. I'm sorry about it being so public. Shizune and I go back some ways. Her voice seemed slightly irritated as she remembered Shizune, obviously unwilling to discuss it any further. I glanced at Hanako for her views on this, but her expression is, unsurprisingly, evasive and difficult to read. Either way, I guess her apologizing for it is something, even if my curiosity goes unanswered. I'll be glad once the festival is over in any case. The change of topic's welcome, clearing the thickening air quickly. I can imagine. My old friends' festivals were a lot more low-key than this. Yamaku stresses the idea of a school community, so the staff likes to make our festivals and such special occasions. And yet the students are the ones to do the work? What an unfair world. Hanako and Lily both chuckle in agreement, savoring the fact that none of the staff around here are grumbling. I suppose coming from a strict all-girls school helped me a bit with Yamaku. Compared to there, Yamaku is much more relaxed. That'd go a way towards explaining her well-bred speech and behavior. In any case, as we come up to the dormitories, it eventually comes time to leave for our respective rooms. See you, Lily, Hanako. The two both give polite nods before setting off to the women's dorm, just next to the guys. As to be expected of such an arrangement, there's a staff member casually patrolling around to prevent any such nighttime shenanigans. Walking past him, I quickly stretch my arms and rub my neck, both sore after having worked on the floor for so long, before walking to my room. It feels good to actually have direction, though. After so long in the hospital, the everyday facts of studying, homework, and teachers seem almost a blessing. I guess if things continue like this, my time at Yamaku might turn out okay. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. I made a promise and I'm gonna keep it. Besides, Emmy's bound to rat on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. Do-da-do. There's the alarm. My morning alarm goes off as I flail about uselessly for a while until I remember that I decided to give morning runs another shot. I don't know if this was my greatest idea, but I'm determined to keep going. This is about my health after all. Goddamn my mouth. Sure, things haven't been great. Sure, things haven't been great for me lately, but that hasn't made existence so intolerable that I'm not gonna try everything I can to stay healthy. Besides, it's all about asserting some kind of control over this thing, right? If I can manage that, well, I can manage anything. Anything. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Once again, it would appear that I'm not alone in my run. Emmy has apparently been here for a long time. It looks like she's already worked up a good sweat. Just when the hell does she come down here anyway? Oh, it's you! Oh, it's you! Oh god, I can't do voices. I'm surprised to see you again. Why's that? Well, not many people actually manage to come back for a second try. She frowned, seemingly annoyed by a passing thought. Like the rest of the track team, for instance. Still, it was only supposed to be on a volunteer basis, so it's not that big of a shock. And I guess it's pretty early in the morning. I shrug, and suddenly it appears that she's forgotten what she was talking about. The frown disappears entirely, and she seems to snap back to her previous train of thought. So, come on then! What? You're here to run again, right? Well, yes. So come on! I find myself suddenly grabbed and yanked onto the track. Things seem to be set on mirroring yesterday's run. That is, I seem to be struggling while Emmy moves with an effortlessness that I find enviable. Enviable? Yeah, that's enviable. Well, she's clearly been doing this for a long time, and her body's clearly made for running. And you have a heart condition, so you can't even run that fast anyway, so... It's incredibly bothersome to be so easily worn out. I know I should be patient, work towards things gradually, but... It's difficult to stay positive about this. We round the track and start on our second lap. Emmy seems to have grown impatient keeping pace with me, and begins to pull away. This is where I gave out yesterday. Will I be able to do more? One day it really is not enough to make progress. But, I mean, pushing yourself is a good thing, but also I have a heart condition. I'm gonna go for it. Let's see what happens. Wait, can I save? Yes! I'm gonna save before every single choice that I can make. Alright. Let's go for it. What am I doing here? Am I really just gonna fold and let Emmy pull ahead? I speed up. The second lap's done quickly, and without even considering it, I keep going. Emmy looks over her shoulder at me and grins. Still going? Wouldn't want you to think I'm out of shape. Woo! Emmy laughs without breaking her stride, no less, and speeds up even more. Well, if this is the way we're gonna play things, I increase my own pace as well. I can feel my lungs burning, and my legs are starting to question just what the hell I think I'm doing. Lactic acid screams in my muscles, but I close my ears. I can't let myself fall behind, because that would be a loss. The rational voice in my head inquires mildly just when we started playing a game. I answered it, but I'm having a lot of trouble thinking at present. She's so fast! How the hell does she keep it? Oops. I think I did bad. It's like a string pulling at my chest, a choking feeling of narrowness and pain. Before I can think of anything else, then, oh shit, the track disappears from under my feet. So I stumble, one hand shooting down to clutch at my chest, the other hitting the track to keep me from falling on my face. Emmy whirls around, her eyes widened. Kisao! Kisao! I can't do a girl voice, I really can't. I can try, but it's gonna hurt my voice. She yells at me, sprinting from the other side of the track. What's wrong? Nothing, just my chest. Keep your breathing steady. Calm down. Don't panic. Don't panic. Do you need me to get the nurse? I close my eyes, shutting out the outside world. My heart struggles to regain its rhythm. Slowly, the pain in my chest begins to subside. Soon it's gone like nothing happened. It was nothing. No, something happened there. I open my eyes and glance at a very worried Emmy. I think I'm fine. My voice sounds weird even to myself. Oddly even, matter of fact, it makes Emmy frown. I don't think you are. She seems to come to a decision and nods to herself. Right, you're coming with me. You've got to go see the nurse. Emmy grabs my arm and drags me up. I feel a bit wobbly, but I refuse to shoulder Emmy offers for support. Honestly, I'm a little ashamed by my own weakness. I'd really rather not have Emmy concerned about me, but it seems too late. Heck, I'd really rather not have anyone concerned about my condition, though at this point, it seems to be too late for that as well. I'd like to be able to deal with the whole thing on my own, without being a bother to anyone else. While I'm wishing for things, I'd rather not have this condition in the first place. But you wouldn't have met your friends! I wonder what would happen if I, picked the other choice. Okay. I'm curious now. Nurse! Emmy crashes into the office without knocking, but it doesn't alarm the nurse in the least. Good morning, sunshine. What's up? Sunshine. Anyway, he calmly sips his coffee mug, but lays it down after following Emmy's gaze to me looming in the doorway. Isao, what brings you here? We were running and he stumbled over and started Oh my god, what the hell? Why did I read that so fast? Oops. Isao, what brings you here? We were running and he stumbled over and he started grabbing at his chest and I thought I should come get you. Oops, what the hell? Did I set some automatic thing? I come get you, make him wait here, but he said he was okay, but then I thought you should see him anyway. Oh, it's automatic, okay. Easy there, Emmy, calm down. Isao, what happened? I don't know, we were running, and then my chest started hurting like the time before, but it went away after a few seconds. It was just a flutter or something. The nurse frowns as to say that just a flutter was some kind of oxymoron. I didn't mean quite this when I suggested to get some exercise. You've got to be more careful, Isao. I was being careful, come to think of it, I just got into a race with a member of the track team. Doesn't seem as well reasoned as I thought it would. Yeah, I made the wrong decision. I should have erred on the side of caution. You just what? That is... I was racing Emmy. Emmy, is this true? Emmy fishes, looking adorably contrite. Well... Finally, she can't seem to bring herself to say it aloud, but merely nods. The nurse sighs, rubs his forehead with one hand tiredly. Emmy, you've got to be more sensitive to the limits of others. I don't know if he told you, but Hisao has a bad heart, and getting him to race you was incredibly irresponsible. Actually, I started it. The nurse is stunned by my statement. You... what? We were just running, and Emmy started pulling away, so I sped up to catch her. The nurse stares at the ceiling, muttering a prayer for patience to some god or another, and looks back at the both of us. So you're both stupid. Yeah, we kinda are. It was my choice. I wonder what would happen if I didn't hurry up. Oh well, that's for another playthrough. That's a comfort, I guess. Now come on, Hisa. I've got to make sure your heart's not gonna explode or something. I dutifully obey and follow him to the adjacent room where we ascertain that I am, in fact, not gonna keel over and die. So how does it feel? I don't know. Nothing much. Tired, but it might just be from the exercise. You should stay here for a few hours and rest. We'll see how you feel after that. I'm not going to object, so I lie down on the infirmary bed. A thoroughly miserable Emmy comes in after getting an earful from the nurse in the other room. I couldn't hear what he said through the closed door, but I'm sure it wasn't pleasantries. Look, I'm really sorry. I should have been more careful. Hey, you didn't know. It's not your fault. If this guy is like me, if I was sick and like something like this happened, I would be like, no, I literally was stupid and was like, I'm gonna keep up with this girl for the track team. She looks awfully down and sorry, and my reassurances don't do anything much to cheer her up. I want to make it up to you. Again with that decisive nod. So you have to come to lunch with me. I'll bring it for you, okay? Something really good. I start with a you don't have to, but then shut up and just nod at her when I see her face. Good. We'll meet on the roof. We? Yep, the weather's nice now, so the roof's a great spot for lunch, you know. I see. I'm guessing until I meet all the girls that I'm, like, potentially, going to romance, I won't get any free will. So, because I'm guessing that, like, if the free will in this game comes after, I'm assuming. So, I have no idea. I should really lean back. I'm, like, leaning forward in my chair. In my comfortable leather chair. You won't deny me the chance to make it up to you. Of course not. Great, see you there. I stay afloat somewhere between asleep and awake, feeling completely drained. Not only my body, but all of me is limp and paralyzed, apart from my senses. I swallow with difficulty and then try to lie as still as I can, which in this state is not a very hard thing to do. The nurse is shuffling around on the other side of the curtain as he drew to give me privacy. I can see a shadow shifting about in the sunlight. He opened the window of his office. It's windy outside. The clean white curtains flutter in the breeze in a heavy, lazy motion, like waves. Light sifts through them slowly, half absorbing into the fabric. Oh great, now my curiosity is getting to me, like, oh, what happens if I do this, blah blah, but it's too late now. I close my eyes. The breeze on my face feels like the soft fabric of the curtains. I listen to the sound of my heartbeat for a moment, trying to shut out the sound of the nurse tapping away on his computer and my own heavy breathing. It's steady. Damn it, not even a week and I ended up like this again. I really screwed up this time. Should have known better than to play the half-baked sports star in front of a real one. And why did I try to act brave, like that heart flutter was no big deal, even when it was obvious that it was? It was just a reflex, to push it away, to keep it inside. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want Emmy to see it. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I had to be more careful, or I'll end up in the hospital again. Or worse. That's my final thought before I give in to the tiredness. Fade to black. I fell asleep. For how long? What time is it? I'm feeling a little lightheaded, and I keep blinking compulsively. Pushing the curtain aside, I squint my eyes against the unfiltered light pouring in from the window. The texture of the canvas feels nothing like the wind did before. The nurse looks up from his work, sitting exactly where he was before. How are you feeling? I can't really tell, so I don't answer anything. I'm feeling kind of groggy from falling asleep at such a weird time. Hopefully I don't look too weird. What time is it? Me croaking the question to gain some orientation, the nurse is looking at his wristwatch before answering. Things seem to happen in slow motion. 10:15. I try to think for a moment what that means, but I'm not really sure. You didn't answer my question, he shouted. Oh, fine. Climb down from the bed then, and let's see how you're doing. Don't. I tried to do exactly that, only to dizzily sway when I moved too fast. The nurse moves to support me by an arm and sighs. Stand up too quickly, is what I was going to say. Just sit there, I'll check your pressure to make sure. My good intentions sure lasted for a long time. I shut up, embarrassed with myself, while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption in my arm. After a couple of minutes, he puts it away, looking neither pleased nor unhappy. He pulled out an old pressure machine. I forgot what it's called. You're alright. Head stop spinning? Yeah. Good, and how are the contents doing? You didn't show very good judgment out there, he said. I swallowed the retort I was gonna make. It's what I was thinking of myself. What I was thinking myself, but hearing it stated by somebody else makes me want to protest. What he's saying is not pleasant to hear. It doesn't make him any less right. No, sir. He nods, still looking as neutral as he was before. It would be easy to be angry with him if he said "told you so" or something, but he doesn't. I can try to help you keep your health, but ultimately the last call lies with you. Hopefully this little episode will be something to remind you of that. Here, a note for your teacher, to avoid an interrogation. I take the slip of paper he's offering and then make my leave, as I can't think of anything else to say, nor even really want to. Stay out of trouble, you hear me? I don't think it was anything but a scare, but next time could be different. I hear ya. There's some way to get out of the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly get lost, so I get out the exit that I know works. I stop at the stairs of the auxiliary building, deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms to get my books and stuff, and going straight away to the class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head towards the dorm. The halls are quiet as the courtyard was, and naturally, since everyone is in class, I lightly knock on the door of 3-3 and push the door open when Muto calls from the other side. Sorry, I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn toward me. Good morning, Nakai. I forgot the voice I gave him. He hasn't had a voice in so long. Oops, I didn't read that. Muto seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming in late, as if I interrupted his flow or something. Judging from the rambling lecture his classes tend to be, that might be the case. I pass him the note the nurse gave me. Muto takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrows and gives me a kind of stern look, but doesn't say anything, just nods solemnly again. I shrug and he gestures to me to run along, so I naturally do. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I have even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overly attentive. The first days, I was pretty high-strung in class. Muto finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues on without a pause about the festival. So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday, please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds. Games and fried food! Everyone bursts out in laughter, and so do I. Then my heart explodes! Yes, thank you, Mikado. But what? Oops. Yes, thank you, Mikado. But what I meant was more the... Okay, that one was another one that was supposed to be interrupted. The remainder of his sentence is buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Muto deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in the school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Why am I going into that voice? Normally I join the flow and grab a lunch myself, but today is different. Today I've been invited to lunch on the roof. An odd location, but that's where I was told to go. Fortunately, I managed to find shelter from the storm in the lee of the classroom door. Eventually the torrent subsides and I step tentatively out into the hallway. Only to be met by Emmy, who comes flouncing in the hallway like a cannonball. Hey, hi Hisao, great timing. I have a super extra lunch today, as promised. Let's go upstairs. She looks cute in her outfit and her uniform. Personally, I don't understand the fetish behind the Japanese gym uniform. I don't understand it. It's just weird to me. I don't know why, but whatever. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with a missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed that lock. I bet it was Emmy. Emmy shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in the front of us. Emmy flinches, almost falling back down the stairs. It's Rin, judging by the silhouette. Eek! Hello. Yipes, you scared me, Rin. Wait, isn't she... Hello. Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me. You two know each other? I look confusedly at Emmy. She's that... whoops, wrong tone. She's that friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. I invited Hisao for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? I love her facial expression. It's like, bruh. Sorry guys, I'm just looking at my phone. Nope. Neither. I have food for 3. Ugh, doing a high-pitched voice hurts my throat. Nice thinking. They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else here but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the roof look less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. I actually enjoy the small town feel myself. It's very nice and calming. It's very slow. It feels like things are going slow, and personally, I prefer that. I like the small town feel. It always seems more friendly in my opinion. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on, or get their senses overloaded by neon lights and traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly. I haven't had the time to think about how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear, cerulean sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries a scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to, just a few weeks ago. Emmy settles on a bench with Rin in tow, produces one big and 2 small lunch boxes from her bag. Come on, Hisao, what are you waiting for? She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. Oh my god! They're so close to my face! I could touch it. I seat myself on the corner of the bench and to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all 3 of us fit onto it. Impressive view. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Rin, and hands another lunchbox to me. Here you go, lunch as promised. Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I made it myself when I can. Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Takes a few bites. I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and propping a fork full of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I'm in right now. Will I ever get used to the sights such as this? Hello, the person next to her doesn't have feet at all. Sorry guys, I thought someone was calling me. It's my sister teaching my dog tricks. But yeah, I think the pairs are pretty interesting, to say the least. Emmy and Rin, one with no arms, the other one with no legs. Lily and Hanako, one really outgoing and open and friendly, the other one super shy. And then Shizune and Misha who can never seem to stop talking, and Shizune who can't talk at all. The pairs are pretty interesting. They're like opposites, but they seem to be such close friends that like they mesh well together. Interesting. My throat's sore, I don't know why. I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I would hope it would be the latter, because you kind of do have to be understanding of people with handicaps like this. I mean, a special school like this usually pisses off people like, why do they need a special school, blah 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 blah. They can go to school like normal people, blah 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 blah. This girl has no arms, Jesus Christ. So yeah, like, you gotta realize that handicapped people are simply people who have a disability. Rin has no arms. That doesn't mean that she's any different from you or me, although she does have an odd personality. She's unusually blunt, but hey, it's her lack of arms are only off-putting if you let it be off-putting. Of course, if you date her, you'll never know the feeling of a hug from someone you love. That's really dark, I'm sorry. I made myself sad. I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch if it had insulted her ancestors. What the hell? You seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite, which is great because then I burn through my lunch pretty quickly. Helps keep a girlish figure. What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man? I really nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? I can't do that. What? I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggled to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Rin seemed content to let Emmy answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought we complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another. Complement each other? Like shoes and a suit. Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together. We've all got our limbs, yet? We've got all our limbs, get it? Ah. So I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Rin chooses the moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of? This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious, makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. Sorry guys, I just had like a weird moment of like, oh, am I actually recording? I mean, you've got no arms. So putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking right now. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good! She busies herself with cleaning up her lunch. Rin speaks up. I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry! With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. Yay, juice box! She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. That was bad. I automatically assumed that like Emmy was gonna like hold up the drink for her. Whoopsie! I forgot that she could literally put a fork to her mouth with her feet, so yeah, she's flexible. Somehow I don't think Emmy or Rin are the sort of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, it gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. So Hisao, how do you like it up here? It's quite nice, actually. I like high places for the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin. Pleased by my response, I suppose. No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time, too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know. Emmy looks mock offended. Try to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve! She giggles. Well, if that's your answer, I guess Rin and I will just keep eating lunch all alone. I'm suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emmy pouts. Oh, she's so cute. Look at her face. I want to pinch those cheeks. Kidding. I was kidding. Oh my god, I've said that before. Like, to the same kind of situation, actually, when I tease a girl and she makes a puppy dog face just to get under my skin. And it works. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location and the company's okay, too. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems unhappy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess it means that makes us friends now. At least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling our turn downstairs. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're gonna fade away. Rin shrugs as if it's an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. Three of us head down the stairs together. I wonder, does Rin or Emmy not get along with someone from the other groups? Because it's already between Shizune and Lily. And that one makes me so awkward and also very angry, as you can see from my last parts. So yeah. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of the books I finished reading. When do you read? How big are the gaps between me playing? Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students in here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping this room. As I drop the books I borrowed into the return slots on the counter, Yuko suddenly pops from behind it, quite startled from the banging they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Sorry Yuko, I didn't mean to startle you. No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you? It's okay. I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do. And after reading so much during my stay in the hospital... Oh my god, I'm over time! Oh, I did it again! Oh, jeez. Okay. I just realized that. Jesus Christ. I thought I had, like, so much time. Oh, jeez. So anyway, I'm just gonna end the part here. I'm sorry. Gonna have to wait till tomorrow for the next part. I am so sorry. I didn't mean... I should have ended it after the conversation between us and Rin and Emmy gods. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode of Katawa Shoujo. If you want to see more videos, feel free to subscribe. If you like this video, like it if you want. I'm really flustered right now, so I'm messing up my outro. So I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Ah, jeez.